Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to talk Super Bowl. Niners, Chiefs, here we are. We finally made it to the end of the football season. Super Bowl Sunday. I know it's been a little bit since I've made a video, but I was waiting for today ever since championship week. You've been following my picks this season. You know I had a pretty good regular season, finished with 73% ATS accuracy, going from week 12 towards the end of the year. Playoffs, I decided to do every game, but I gave you guys disclaimers on which games I would actually bet on, and which ones I was just picking the ATS spread. Didn't do too well, win about 500 overall, but on the games that I actually bet on, did pretty well, except for 2 weeks ago, I did pick the Ravens to beat the Chiefs. I actually thought the Ravens would win by double digits. Credit to the Chiefs for having a great game plan in that game to be able to get that win, and I don't know what the hell Baltimore was doing. Not running the ball, as they were the number one running team in the league. But with that said, here we are, Niners, Chiefs. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of these two teams. So you're looking at this game. This game opened up. I checked right after championship week. This game quickly opened as the Niners as a 1-point favorite. Ever since it shot up to 2 pretty quickly, then 2, 2.5, 2, 2.5. It's been bouncing up and down. Last I checked, it was Niners favored by 2. If you're looking at this video closer to game time, it might go up again to 2.5 or maybe down to 1.5. But early money, I guess you could say. Well, let me break it down for you like this. My understanding is the public has actually been favoring the Chiefs in this game, but the sharps, the pros, have been putting more money down on the Niners, which is a good reason why you have some reverse line movement in this one. So on the breakdown, I like the Chiefs passing offense versus the Niners pass defense to be an even split. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got Travis Kelce, you got Rashee Rice, who's been playing really well. The rookie receivers. I didn't think he was a true number one, to be honest, but he's kind of been playing like it. Against the Niners pass defense, that has been pretty good all season. Now they're helped out by really good pass rush. But Ward and those guys back there have been playing well this year. Even matchup to me because there's no way these guys are going to lock up Patrick Mahomes. But I don't think there's any way Patrick Mahomes is really going to go off on these guys either. So you look at the Chiefs running a game against the Niners run defense. I told you guys that the Niners run defense isn't as good as their stats indicate. They're usually in the lead, and that's why teams aren't really running the ball. But when teams have committed to the run, they've had success against them. I like Isaiah Pacheco. I know Joe Thuney is out. All-Pro guard is out, but they're still tough up front on the offensive line as far as run blocking goes. I think that they're gonna win some matchups in this game. Pacheco runs hard. You might see some chinks in the Niners run defense in this game. So I think the Chiefs can have some success on the ground in this one. And then, it's going to be balanced out with Patrick Mahomes. They have to key in on that passing game to Kelce and Rashee Rice. Now you look at the Niners offense. I think it kind of favors, when you're talking about the passing game, I think the passing game against the Chiefs pass defense kind of favors Kansas City in this one. If you look at it, Kansas City has locked up every passing game they've gone against. And I know the Niners got a good passing game, but they've been kind of fading a bit lately, in my opinion. They didn't play well against Green Bay in the playoffs. They played well in the second half against Detroit, but there was some fluke stuff in there too that I'm going to get into in a bit. I don't think Brock Purdy has been playing as well as people are giving him credit for. They're giving him credit for these fourth quarter comebacks and sealing the game against Green Bay and all of that. He made some key running plays, but I'm just not going to give him that much credit. I think the Kansas City pass defense has an advantage in this one. I didn't go all the way because you got Debo and you got Kittle and all of that, so it's not going to be a huge advantage for Kansas City, but I like the Chiefs secondary in this one. And then finally, the Niners running attack. You would think Christian McCaffrey against what was a weak run defense in the regular season for Kansas City, he should have a good game. But Steve Spagnuolo has done a great job, especially in the playoffs, really fixing that run defense. I mean, they pretty much shut down the Dolphins' running game. Buffalo went for 180, but a lot of that was Josh Allen. They shut down their Buffalo running backs. And then Baltimore, Lamar made a couple plays running the ball, but the running backs for Baltimore got shut down, though. Like I said, I don't know what John Harbaugh was doing because they didn't run the ball. So, got to give them credit anyway. Kansas City, 3 straight games, has played running backs well. I don't think Brock Purdy has the legs to take off like Lamar Jackson, so it's going to be on Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey's the best running back in the league, so he should have some success on the ground, but with the way Spagnuolo's been playing or been coaching on defense, I like Kansas City's defense to also, not get ran over in this one. So all in all, I'm liking the Niners offense to have some success on the ground. I'm liking the Chiefs offense to have success on the ground. So now who's it going to be? Patrick Mahomes passing the ball or Brock Purdy passing the ball against each other's opposing secondaries? So it's a tough game. I understand why the spread is low because it really looks like an even matchup on paper. I would say the Niners on paper have a slightly more talented team, but it's a pretty even matchup on paper. So now going to the pick. Now before I get into this pick, I'm gonna give you guys a little history on my picks in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna go back to the Eagles, Patriots. It's going back that far. Eagles, Patriots. I put some bread down on Philadelphia and won that as an underdog. Won that pick. Next year, I wasn't in a situation. I wasn't in a place where I could put a bet down on the Rams Patriots game. But I'll tell you right now, I was picking the Rams. I was telling everybody I'm picking the Rams to beat the Patriots. Whiffed on that one. Pushed too much stock in Jared Goff. The year after that, we go to Kansas City, San Francisco. This same Super Bowl. I had KC. Won on that. The year later, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. I had Tampa Bay. Won on that. Kansas City has such a dark cloud around him. If you guys remember, it was what was it? Andy Reid's son, I believe, had I think didn't he get like into a car accident and killed somebody in that car accident. The Chiefs had lost both of their offensive tackles. It was just a dark cloud surrounding them. I had Tampa winning. I actually had Tampa winning big, so it wasn't a surprise to me to see them win 31-9. Rams, Bengals. This is one of my proudest moments right here because I actually picked. Not only did I pick the Rams, but I picked the margin of victory in that one. Picked the Rams by 3. If you guys remember that playoffs, I think every single playoff game was by 3. I don't necessarily believe in scripts, but it almost sounded like a script to me. So I had Rams by 3, hit on that. I had Bengals +4 in that one as well, hit on that. Probably my best moment in betting on Super Bowls. And then last year, KC, I had KC over Philly, which was a tough pick for me. All the other games I was fully confident in picking, so I was fully confident in that Rams team picking that Rams team that lost to the Pats. I'll take the whiff on that. Last year, not as confident, but still pretty confident in picking the Chiefs. So why do I say that? I went 5-1 in my Super Bowl picks. I say that to tell you that this Super Bowl right here, I am not nearly as confident in as those ones. This is just such an even matchup. It's such an even matchup. It's really tough to call. The 49ers have the best team, have the better team on paper. But the Niners are also lucky to be here. They should have lost to Green Bay. Missed field goal by Green Bay. I don't know why they kept the kicker who had been missing tons of kicks. Then cost them a chance in the NFC Championship game because the Niners were bad in that game. They should have lost to Green Bay, the youngest team in the league, or at least the youngest team in the playoffs. Detroit, 24-7. They're down at the half. Should have lost this game. A lot of credit is being given to Brock Purdy, and the Niners were coming back. Brock Purdy threw a bomb to Ayuk that bounced off of a defender's face for a 50-yard gain. That should have been an interception, and we're probably having a completely different conversation. Dan Campbell should have kicked field goals. He had a chance to go up 27-10 in late third, 3-possession lead, late third in the NFC Championship game. He decides not to do it. So I'm going to give the Niners credit for coming back, but that was more of a Detroit collapse than a Niners comeback, in my opinion. I don't think you're going to see a Chiefs defender play basketball with his face into football in this game, right? So the Chiefs, on the other hand, hosted Miami, beat them in an ice cold game, as many people expected to happen, right? But then they go on the road to Buffalo and beat Buffalo. Game that I thought that would happen because I thought the Bills had a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. But they go into Buffalo and they beat Buffalo. They go into the number 1 seed, probably the number 1 team in the league. In my opinion, still the number 1 team in the league, Baltimore. I think Baltimore would probably wash the 49ers if they were in this game. But they go into Baltimore and they beat Baltimore. Took Baltimore right out of their game plan, it seemed like. Beat Baltimore. So they've beaten 2 teams in a row that were better on paper. Now they got a third one. They're playing good football right now. Defensively, they're playing great football. Spagnuolo's doing a great job on the side of the ball. Patrick Mahomes is on his Tom Brady right now, game managing when he doesn't have the greatest weapons, kind of like Tom Brady used to do with the Patriots. You got Pacheco giving him balance with the running game. I know there's some injuries on the KC side, but I just like the way that they're playing right now. I'm taking Kansas City. I'm doing several. I'm taking Kansas City +2, but I'm also going to money line Kansas City. And as far as over/under, if the Chiefs are going to win this game, in my opinion, it can't be a high-scoring game because they don't have the weapons that the Niners have. So I like the Chiefs winning, and I like the under 47.5 is what is that right now. So KC +2, KC under 47.5 in this game is my pick. I'm probably going to money line Kansas City as well. But that's what I'm going with in this one. It's been a great football season. Let's wrap it up with what should be an absolute classic of a football game in the Super Bowl. And keep in mind, I'll have some other football-related videos for college and pro throughout the offseason just to keep conversations going as we go into the offseason and before we get into next season. If you like the content, like, follow, subscribe, all of that. And you'll see my YouTube handle here in a few seconds. Good luck to everybody, and take care.